Hi, I'm Dale LePage.
And I'm Lady Sabrina. This is Riley. And welcome to New England Pride TV.
Tune in, show us you've got New England Pride. Show us you've got New England Pride.
And now it's time for our Pride Pet segment. Lady?
During this Pride Pet segment, we are introducing you to Mary's Dog Rescue and Adoption, located in Northwood, New Hampshire. Phone number 603-608-3374. Also check out their Facebook page. Mary started this rescue as a means to help Southern dogs get into loving homes and spread awareness of the need for spay and neuter education and low-cost options.
Mary and her team of volunteers continually do outreach to Southern shelters and rescues where dogs are often in kill shelters. Due to the overpopulation of dogs in the South, that means they only have a small window of time to be adopted before they're euthanized. I'm glad Riley's not here right now. Check out Mary's Dog Rescue and Adoption in Northwood, New Hampshire for your next fur baby companion.
New England Pride TV is brought to you by the Hanover Theater for the Performing Arts, Remax Vision, Bay State Savings Bank, Safe Homes, Joseph Gonzalez Dofrain, Boston Wedding Photographer, Paul Chasen Interior Design, Nuovo Restaurant, Dr. Frank P. Fetchner Plastic Surgery, Fallon Health, The Queen's Cups, Escape Games Worcester, The Fireplace Room Restaurant, Uniquely Your Decor, Art Reach, Electric Haze, Bull Mansion, Ellie's Pet Barn, Photo Documentation Services LLC, and Next Level Pet Care.
Welcome back to New England Pride TV. I'm here with our guests now, Joan and Ben. They're from Elder Services. Now, I actually know you. I think we've met once, correct? Yes. Because you hired me to do a concert for your organization. Now, that is how we met. But you just told me you've known my husband for years.
20 years, I
20
think.
20 years.
So, yeah.
Oh, you're a realtor also? Okay, all right. So we're not here to talk about real estate, though. We're here to talk about Elder Services.
No, LGBT.
Now, when you first reached out to me last year, I think it was, and you told me there was an organization called Elder Services, first of all, I was really happy to hear that, and surprised. I had never heard of it, so we need to get that word out there.
We do.
Yes. Now, first of all, let's talk about what Elder Services is and then what they do.
Okay. So Elder Services is a very large agency, and we service all the people in Central Mass near the, we have a certain area, and we have case management and nurses, but the big thing is to have our workers, Ben and I, we're the LGBT peer workers, and we do outreach in the community, and we try to stay in contact with all our diners, and whenever there's an issue of any kind whatsoever, we'll help them out and mostly do referrals to people that can help them and guide them through whatever it is they're going through.
Now, Ben, how did you get involved in Elder Services?
Well, my husband and I went to a town meeting when it was first being formed. Actually, Elder Services is the parent agency. LGBT Elder Network is the name of the thing we work for. And somewhere along the line, after talking to all these people, the executive director of Elder Services asked me if I would be the second worker. We had another worker who was on the staff already and who has since retired.
How long has this been around, this organization?
We got a grant from the Greater Worcester Community Foundation in 2008 to begin in 2009. And then it was renewed for a year. And then Elder Services kind of adopted us. And
Now, are you a nonprofit?
oh, very much so.
So you count on donations and grants and...
We're mostly under the Elder Services budget, which does accept donations, but it does so much contract work with the state that they don't run fund drives.
I was just wondering because I didn't know if people could donate or if you get funded from the state. You mostly get funded from the state.
Well,
then.
not our program, but the agency as a
the
whole.
agency, the umbrella.
So we'd love some
Right.
donations.
I'm sure you would.
As long as it's designated to us.
Now, you offer social activities for LGBTQ elders, correct?
Correct. This is the most important reason why we're here today.
Okay.
Is to promote our 2 lunches that we have the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of every month. And the first Tuesday evening of each month, we have a dinner. And at this point, we received a grant, so we're able to have performances such as Dale.
Yeah, I'll be there
And-
again this year.
Yeah, in August. So we're very excited to be able to offer a very good meal for $2.50 and entertainment. So we're hoping that when people see this program, my phone will be ringing off the wall, and we'll have lots of people come. So please think about coming. We'd love to have you. And if you're younger and you're still welcome to come, we welcome everyone.
Now, you say lunches and dinners. Where are the lunches and dinners held?
At the Unitarian Universalist Church at 90 Holden Street in Worcester.
Now, besides coming on the TV show, how do you get the word out there about your club? Is it club, group?
I do a monthly newsletter online, and it always advertises the meals, but I try to find other topics that are of interest to LGBT older adults.
I think you guys should also be a guest on my radio show now that I'm talking about it.
We were.
I want you to come on again.
Okay.
Because people need to know about this great organization. And there are so many LGBTQ seniors who are, they don't like going to the bars. They don't, but they want to be social.
Right.
And I think this is a really important organization. And we need to get the word out there.
We do.
Have any magazines or newspapers done articles on you guys?
Not recently. In the beginning, we had as many as we could get just to get the word out.
Well, I think it's time to relaunch that,
yeah.
right?
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Socialization is one of the most important parts of the meal program. As you say, many elders are isolated.
Yes.
Many
yes.
of the diners we have been widowed from long-term relationships. Now,
Yes.
that's not something
That's
most
devastating.
people
It is.
realize, is that we have been in long-term relationships
Right.
because it's been under the radar.
Right.
And they don't want to go to the bars,
Right.
and they just want to get out.
And socialize and just be
Right.
with like-minded
Right.
people. And,
Yeah.
Now, I can attest to those who are watching at home. I've been to one of these events, and the food is fantastic. It is really
is
good.
And I know
Yes.
people think it isn't, but
Yeah, no,
I
it's
was one of the
great.
people that didn't think it was good, and now I'm very surprised how good it is.
Now, let's let our viewers at home know how they can find out about the organization. What's the website? Do you have a Facebook page?
Both.
Both.
The website is eswa.org,
Yep.
and same thing with our Facebook. And Ben and I can be reached through the office, 508-756-1545. I'm extension 404, and Ben is 339.
Excellent. I hope if you're watching at home that you're going to maybe get the word out to somebody you might know that is, you don't even need to be a senior.
No, you don't.
No.
Absolutely not. We welcome
No.
anyone.
Because even though I'm 59 in my head, I'm really like 36.
Oh, right.
So, but I still feel very comfortable. But so hopefully our viewers at home will get in touch with you at Elder Services, or they might know somebody and see this show and tell them to contact you. That's what we're hoping for.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Please come.
Yes, please come. We'll be back with more New England Pride right after this. And we are back with more fun and exciting New England Pride TV. Right now, this handsome gentleman sitting with me is Jeffry Wright-Reid, and he works on the Massachusetts Commission on LGBTQ Youth. Welcome. First of all, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I just saw you at City Hall.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what you were doing at City Hall. And apparently this is what you're doing at City Hall. So I'm learning a lot. I'm going to be learning a lot from you today. First of all, what is the Commission on LGBTQ Youth? What is that?
So the Commission on LGBTQ Youth, in 1992, Governor William Weld, which was the governor of the state of Massachusetts then, created a governor's commission on lesbian and gay youths. Reason being is that the epidemic that was taking over the state with LGBTQ youths dying from suicide. So the governor decided to create this commission to try to solve this problem. Now, in 2006, that commission was reinforced into the LGBTQ youths Massachusetts Commission on LGBTQ Youth, which is known as a independent state organization, independent state commission, which what we are tasked in doing is advising and convening with all branches of state government in making sure that their LGBTQ youth non-discriminative policies are up to par. And so we work with mostly the EOHHS organizations, the executive offices of Health and Human Services. Reason being is that these are the organizations that LGBTQ youths most require services from or incline with. So like offices like the Department of Higher Ed, the Department of Secondary and Education, Department of Secondary and Elementary Education, the Department of Children's and Family, the Department of Disability Services, the Department of Mental Health, and so these are all the organizations that we convene with and making sure that their non-discriminative policies are up to par.
Wow. Okay, first of all, I have a couple questions. Obviously, this is a lot of research is done.
Yes.
How does that even begin, and how do you find out what you want to do research on?
So we have commissioners that are aligned to different state organizations, and we meet with all these organizations on a biannual basis and go over their non-discriminative policies and stuff that we think that they need to work on or stuff that we think are not there as yet. We recommend that they get them in there before the next physical hear, because we do produce annual recommendations to all these organizations, and so they have to follow these organizations because this is a governor's commission, and you do not want to follow a governor's commission recommendation, because you will, in the next budget here, you will not getting your budget from the governor.
Now, when we first started talking in this interview, you mentioned that the commission itself was started because of the suicide rate.
Yes.
The suicide rate for the LGBTQ community is much higher than that of the non-LGBTQ. Is that correct?
It is.
Is it pretty much doubled?
It has.
Yes.
It has.
Yeah.
It has. And one of the reasons why we are seeing this doubled is that the LGBTQ youths, they don't have the resources and people to go to when they're part of the LGBTQ community. Once they're part of the LGBTQ community, people start ridiculing them. They don't know where to go. They don't know the safe spaces to go. And I can speak from a personal point of view where I'm from Jamaica, and in Jamaica it's illegal to be gay.
Yes.
I could go to prison for 10 years for being gay. When I walk on the road, I am ridiculed on a daily basis. And in Jamaica, when I go to church, once I stepped into that church, I wasn't allowed to worship with the general congregation. I was taken to the pastor's vestry, and they tried to taught this demon that is inside of me, because being gay in Jamaica, it is said that a demon has taken over your body. And if a demon has taken over your body, then eventually can get that demon out.
They were trying to exorcise the demon out of you.
They were trying to exorcise the demon out of you. So with that conversion therapy that was just banned at the State House, and which the commission plays a big part into that being banned, conversion therapy is a big part of Jamaica because they think that this does work.
Yeah, that's sad and disturbing and wrong.
It is. It is.
So when did you first start getting involved in this? How did you get this job that you have with the commission?
So I moved to the U.S. in 2015, and when I moved here, in 2016, I went to a event, the Fenway Health Men's event in Boston, which is an annual fundraising event for Fenway.
Huge.
So I went there and I socialized. I met some really interesting people, and this gentleman from San Francisco, who is the legislative director for AIDS Foundation San Francisco, Ernest Hopkins, is still the legislative director there. Ernest is now a good friend of mine, but I met him there. We built a rapport. We took on to each other, and while talking with Ernest over the phone, he said, you know, Massachusetts has this commission, and you would fit being a part of that commission. And so I reached out to the director there, and he invited me in, and from there he's like, you're a good fit for this commission.
You're a wonderful speaker also. Like, you're a commanding speaker, so bravo to you. That's not easy to do. So you must have to speak in many different events.
I do. I convene with a lot of legislators. I go to a lot of legislative briefing, and it's something I do. I'm a gay man. I know that there are gay people, the gay youths out there who don't get the opportunity to speak up for themselves. I use this opportunity and see that as my chance to speak up for the gay youths that don't have a voice.
And you do. I'm so proud to know you. I've known you for a couple of years now, maybe?
Couple of years.
I've seen you at events, and
I'm around. I get around.
You get around. You're doing great work.
I've just been in the U.S. for 3 years, and I've get around. Before all these positions, I was the community engagement manager for the Coalition of Greater Health in Worcester. So that's a umbrella group for the City of Worcester, Department of Public Health, Fallon Health, and UMass Memorial, and I used to do that.
Wonderful. You're doing such good work. I'm so proud to even know you. Unfortunately, our time is coming to an end. If anybody has any questions about you, can they reach you through City Hall or through the Commission? Or?
Definitely, you can reach out to me through the Commission, the Massachusetts Commission on LGBTQ Youth. You'll get the director there, which is Hori Patia, or you can get the coordinator, who is Donnie, and you can ask for me. One of them will pick the phone up, or you can reach out to me by my email, jwrighthealth@gmail.com, and you can ask me any questions.
And we're going to put your email underneath here, so it'll be right below us. And just an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. I learned so much. I hope our viewers did. We'll be right back after this. Hey, and we are back with more New England Pride TV. Right now, I'm sitting with our next guest, who is Dr. Dawn Letourneau and Melissa De Silva, licensed social worker, and they're both from Options Magazine, which is out of Rhode Island. Is it all of Rhode Island, or just Providence, Rhode Island? Or?
It's Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. It's important to include everybody.
Absolutely. Now, I can only speak for myself, but I really feel that there are not enough LGBTQ publications out there like this.
Yes.
Now, for our viewers at home and for myself, tell me what Options Magazine is, what you hope it does, what's the mission statement of the magazine?
Okay, it was founded in 1982.
1982.
Yeah, which is a long time.
That's a long time ago.
Yes, it is a long time.
Yep.
It provides a directory, a place for people to go. And to
a directory of businesses and
yes, businesses.
What else besides business? Like businesses and like therapists
yes,
and
therapists,
support groups.
Yes,
all that.
Yes,
Awesome.
There's a pretty big list, I'd say.
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, and that's really important for the community.
Absolutely.
We also talk about the topics that are a big deal in the community at the time too.
Yep.
And we also have articles that are written by the youth as well.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, when I was younger, I got this whole age thing that I'm trying to. I'm like I have that Peter Pan syndrome where like, oh, but it's happening. When I was younger, I used to really look forward to like running into a place and stealing a magazine called, I think it was called Bay Windows or something like that.
Bay Windows.
And it was like a treasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure it means a lot to your young readers who've become fans of your magazine too.
Yes. I think it's important for the older readers also, because they don't go out, to clubs,
Yeah.
and to have a place where to have a magazine where they can go and say, okay, I want to do this, but I'm not sure if there's activities out there. They can look to the magazine and they can possibly find somewhere to go.
So you've got a list of all events coming up.
Yes.
Is the magazine once a week, once a month?
It's once every 2 months.
Once every 2
Yeah.
months. Okay.
Mhm.
And so when people have events that they might want to list in your magazine, how do they get a hold of you, or do you reach out to them, or?
So they can find us on Facebook or online at optionsri.org, and then just let us know what the occasion is or the event that they want to hold. And we are really responsive,
Nice.
so that we can get right back to them
Nice.
about when we can put it in there and how we can help. We also look for sponsors too.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about sponsors. Then I want to
Yeah.
get back to you about whether the magazine is found or is it mailed. Sponsorship. Let me just say, first of all, anybody out there who is watching this show or reading a magazine like Options Magazine, nothing happens without sponsorship. If you don't have people who are supporting you with money, basically, nothing gets done. So kudos to the people that are pitching in for Options Magazine. And now, speaking of sponsorship and your magazine, I'm sure you don't just have LGBTQ businesses that are sponsors. You must have banks and other
Yes.
major organizations. And that means a lot to have people, allies, support, right?
Yeah, I think that's really important for the businesses and the people who read the magazine.
Absolutely.
So they know who to support, and who supports
Yes,
them.
yes. Who are some of your major supporters? So we can give them a shout out.
Blue Cross Blue Shield,
Yes. Blue
Whole
Cross.
Foods Market.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, where is Options Magazine found? Like, is it in different businesses? Does it get mailed to you? What happens to it that?
Well, it can get mailed to your right to your house.
Really?
And we also have a launch party where we'll have people who volunteer come and pick up the magazine at a place called The Stable in Providence. It's kind of like a little party. It's nice.
It's
There's
nice.
a little party where people get together, they can interact, and then people volunteer to actually bring the magazines to different places, different businesses.
Yep.
So that's nice.
You said you do something that is wonderful. You mail it also to people.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So somebody like a nerd crooner who might be a host of a TV show could get it sent to
Nice.
his house in
Yes.
Massachusetts
For
Yes,
free, yeah.
Yes, for free.
For free?
For free,
That's
yes,
crazy.
yes.
Oh, you
Yes.
got to stop that. For free.
And you can also find it online. You can get a digital copy as well.
Speaking of online, I did a little research. I did as much research as I ever do, which is very little, about Options Magazine, because we have a mutual friend, Ashley Delgado,
Yes.
who was New England Pride TV's Person of the Year for Rhode Island 2018, and she is also a part of your staff?
Yes.
What
She's
is-
On
on
our
the
board.
What, she's on your board?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a large board of people?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, and we all come from different backgrounds, so it really brings in a great new energy. So we have a lawyer and a therapist and a doctor.
Yeah. Now, speaking of doctors, what kind of doctor are you?
I'm doctor of higher ed, so I'm a professor.
You're
in
a
Boston.
professor.
Yeah, yeah.
You're one of those smart people who always intimidates me, but you're not intimidating at all. No, usually whenever I'm like talking to like a professor, I'm like, I immediately, the anxieties just start going through, that's what happens to some of us. And you are a social worker.
Yes.
So you do deal with the LGBTQ community?
Yeah, I started my own practice as the LGBTQ as my clientele, so I cater to them. And it started about 3 years ago at East Coast Mental Wellness. And we don't ever have a waiting list. We make sure that we have people that can see our clients right away.
Oh, that is so important. I personally know somebody who really needed to see a counselor. And the soonest they could get in was 3 months from,
Yeah.
And he specifically wanted to talk to an LGBTQ friendly or LGBTQ counselor. It was a 3-month wait. And this is the person who was in dire need. And then he said, I don't care if it's an LGBT, still 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
kudos to you. That's amazing.
Yeah, because it's really important for people to get their mental health needs met as soon as possible. And we're a huge supporter of Options Magazine. And we have been since East Coast Mental Wellness started.
Yeah.
So it's really been a passion of ours. So when I got invited to join the board, I was like, yes.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to the magazine for a minute, while we were preparing for this interview, you told me a wonderful story of a young man.
Yes. I play in a softball league in Providence, a LGBTQ softball league. It's called the Renaissance Softball League.
The Renaissance Softball League. That sounds very fancy.
It's fun. And one of my teammates had told me a story. He was very excited about the magazine relaunching. He told me a story that back in the day when he was younger, he would get the magazine and hide it in his room because times were different back in the day.
Yes.
And he would read it, and it really helped him out a lot. So we were at Pride. We had a booth. And a lot of older people were coming up to us and saying, thank you for bringing the magazine back.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you for bringing the magazine back because it meant a lot to them.
That's so sweet.
And a lot of people kind of went through their 20s and 30s with this magazine. So it meant a lot for them. I didn't realize how important the magazine was to people
you see, you're touching lives.
Until people started coming up to me, and I was like, wow,
it means
this means a lot. We're a part of something that's really important.
Now, speaking of touching lives, you had a funny story about somebody in prison who wanted to know why they weren't getting their Options magazine.
Yeah, so we were on hiatus for about a year, and he sent us a letter saying, where's my magazine? Did I do something wrong? Not realizing that we weren't printing for a year. And so he looked forward to that magazine every month. That was something that he could look forward to. And it was really great to get a letter like that.
So did you make sure you're sending him one now?
Heck yes.
Heck yes. All right. If any of our viewers watching would like to get Options magazine, how can they go about doing that?
They can find us on Facebook or optionsri.org. And we also have the Gay 5K coming up. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to make sure that you sign up for that. That's going to be on September 23rd. And that is being held at Warwick City Park. And registration is $35. And all the proceeds go to Options Magazine so that we can continue printing our beautiful glossy magazine for free.
And the website is runthegay5k.com.
You guys have wrapped up this interview perfectly. I didn't even have to wrap it up for them. That's how good you guys are. Unfortunately, our interview time is over now. But I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I want an invite to one of those launch parties.
Yes.
At the stable.
They're fun.
All right, how's that sound?
You're coming.
Okay, great. We'll be back with more New England Pride TV right after this. Sadly, we've come to the end of another episode of New England Pride TV. Thank you all for watching. I have learned so much. Did you learn anything?
I learned a ton. Riley learned something too.
Oh, good boy, Riley. We're going to end this show the way we always do, by saying, please don't be afraid to shine your light.
You might be lighting the way for someone else in need.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tune in, show us you've got New England pride. Show us you've got New England pride.